I don't think anyone ever expects to wake up one morning and find themselves caught in the middle of a war between two secret organizations. I know I didn't. But here I am. On one side are the Templars, better known these days as Abstergo Industries. They're in the business of control. Politics, economics, technology. They won't stop until every single one of us serves them. Literally. Fighting against them are the Assassins, a group dedicated to safeguarding humanity's free will. I was born into the Brotherhood. A couple of weeks ago, the Templars found me. They took me prisoner, strapped me into a machine they built and put me to work. It's called an Animus. And it's where I spent most of my time. Exploring the memories of my ancestors, discovering entire lives locked deep inside my DNA. First, I revisited the life of Altair ibn La'ahad, an assassin from the Crusades. The Templars wanted the location of something known as a Piece of Eden, an ancient artifact capable of bending people to their will. Once the Templars had what they were looking for, they decided my usefulness had come to an end. But Lucy saved me. Lucy. When things were at their worst, she revealed herself to be an assassin and helped me escape. I was hoping that would be the end of my misadventures. But we were just getting started. Back into another Animus I went. Now, I'm reliving the memories of EZIO Auditore da Firenze, my ancestor from the Renaissance, searching for a path forward. Through the bleeding effect, I'm becoming an assassin in more than just name. It will come in handy as the Templars prepare to enslave us all. They found us. They've crashed our hideout and we're fleeing the scene looking for a place to hide. Only there isn't any, and time is running short. My name is Desmond Miles, and this is my story.
How did you find me?
Mario Auditore, let me hear.
Rebecca, what's going on?
I have to run some diagnostics. I'll get back to you.
It is done. The message is delivered. We are gone now from this world. All of us. We can do no more. The rest is up to you, Desmond.
What? Who is Desmond? I don't understand. Please, wait. I have so many questions.
EZIO Auditore, date of birth 1459, profession assassin. Well, this experience has been quite the education. Although there's nothing in the history books following Ezio's disappearance from Florence as a teenager after the execution of his father and brothers, we now know that he fled with his mother Maria and sister Claudia to his uncle Mario's Tuscan villa. Trained there as an assassin, he prepared to hunt down the Templars, the men behind the execution. And hunt them he did, killing them one by one until he reached their leader, Rodrigo Borgia. With the help of his uncle and the other assassins, he discovered Rodrigo's plan to open an ancient vault beneath the Vatican, supposedly leading to God himself. Ezio defeated Rodrigo, entered the vault alone, and communed with a projection of Minerva, a member of an ancient race that existed before humans. This all sounds very far-fetched when I write it out like that now, doesn't it? Fortunately, we have the Animus records to prove it, so we didn't dream it or anything, unless we're all in a dream right now.
Better in the hands of the earth than in the hands of man.
Uncle.
What can I say? We sent a single man against an entire army. I was worried. Quick, climb up. We have to get out of here.
You would not believe the things I have seen, Mario.
Then be sure to stay alive that I might hear of them.
I expect opposition.
And I expect the Borgia to mourn the loss of many lives tonight.
Mario Auditore, date of birth 1434, profession condottiero noble. One of several important condottiero patrolling the Tuscan countryside, Mario Auditore was a born leader. He began his military career as a 6-year-old when he played a significant role in the Florentine and Milanese conflict at the Battle of Anghiari. While on an expedition to Monterchi with his father, he alerted the Florentine general Micheletto Attendolo to the appearance of several dust clouds over the road which signaled a surprise advance by Milanese troops. Thanks to Mario, the Milanese attack was foiled and the Florentines won the battle. Although Mario sided with Florence during Anghiari, for most of his career he defended the interests of his hometown, Monteriggioni, derailing Florentine attempts to seize Tuscan territory. While Mario's younger brother Giovanni moved to Florence in 1454 to pursue a career in banking, Mario stayed at the family's villa in Monteriggioni, stating in a letter to Giovanni that he preferred fighting like a man to filling out the balance sheets. After Giovanni's death, Mario brought Ezio, Claudia, and Maria to the family villa and taught Ezio about the conflict between the assassins and the Templars. Ever since, Ezio and his uncle have been inseparable.
Che cosa fate qui? Assassini! God will see you pay for your crimes! You have desecrated the sanctity of this holy place.
You condemn what you do not understand.
We must go, Ezio, now.
Cappella Sistina. Inspired by the architecture of Solomon's Temple, the Sistine Chapel is the most famous room in the Apostolic Palace, the Pope's Vatican residence. The chapel's famous ceiling frescoes were only begun in 1508, so no climbing across the finger of God, but the wall paintings that line the chapel, painted by Pietro Perugino, Sandro Botticelli, and Domenico Ghirlandaio, among others, are an ample consolation prize. As the Pope's personal chapel, Mass is frequently held inside, as are the papal conclaves, which occur after the Pope's death. The cardinals are locked inside the chapel and are not permitted to leave until a new Pope is elected. Only through smoke signals sent up a chimney to announce the new Pope can they escape. And worst of all horrors, no cardinals, unless ill, can be attended inside by more than one servant. That's just cruel.
Is it the voice of the devil? Turn away from them.
Did Rodrigo manage to hurt you?
Barely. My armor blunted his attack.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore,
Be ready to fight.
What are you doing?
Saving you from the look of things.
Not bad for an old man.
Agreed. You still have some skill.
Buona questa.
Excellent. Good one. Impressive.
Basilica di San Pietro. The original St. Peter's Basilica, built in 326, as opposed to the epic basilica that exists today, was constructed in the form of a Latin cross. An atrium called the Garden of Paradise stood at the entrance, beckoning followers through the main doorways of the church. Unlike pagan temples, which were lavishly decorated, the facade of St. Peter's was plain. Thankfully, Catholicism got over all that when they made the new St. Peter's. Of course, the downside was that the religion became incredibly corrupt, but hey, beauty has to come at a price. The basilica was built on top of the old Circus of Nero, but before you start pulling out your popcorn and cotton candy, this wasn't a modern circus. The Roman crucifixions of Christians was the main act. St. Peter, among many others, was hung up to die there. The basilica was built on top of this anti-Christian site as almost an intentional modification of history by Emperor Constantine, because if it no longer exists, it never happened, right?
The bishop asks that Pellegrini avoid the area for the foreseeable future.
Cut his legs off! Cazzo, there's so many!
There he is!
You must be late.
This decision is yours alone to make. Only do so quickly. Give it to me. You can do with it as you will later.
Bene.
Jump!
Monteriggioni. Built in the 13th century by the overlords of Siena, Monteriggioni was actively involved in the defense of Tuscany against Florentine attempts to gain more territory. At the front of this conflict was the Auditore family, who became the city's rulers and protectors. It was the Auditore who constructed Monteriggioni's famous walls, which can still be seen today. Although standing in opposition to Florentine desires, the Auditore had cordial relations with the Medici family, largely due to their collective Florentine roots. Monteriggioni successfully withstood attacks from Florence until, in 1554, the city was betrayed. Giovannino Zetti, the keeper of the garrison and a Florentine exile, was allowed to return to Florence in exchange for the keys to the city. Extraordinarily, the Auditore were allowed to continue their rule of Monteriggioni under Florentine leadership, showing that the Medici do not forget their friends.
Minerva talked about the sun. She told of a disaster that occurred long ago, and another that is coming.
Sometime far in the future, Vero? Then we need not worry about it.
See. Perhaps our work is finished.
Would that be so bad?
Wait.
We upgraded the arsenal while you were away.
Ah, and it is now customary for you to fire cannonballs at visitors.
My apologies. We only installed them a few days ago. My men are still being trained in their use.
Welcome back, Ezio.
Ezio!
Look, it is Ezio. Let me see.
Buongiorno.
Salve, Mario!
It's good to be home.
Two of them.
This place just keeps getting better.
Thanks to you.
Brother!
Claudia. It is good to be home. How is Mother?
She's fine. I heard you were returning, but I'm glad to see it with my own eyes. The Contessa of Forli is here to welcome you. I had no idea you were so famous.
Caterina? Here?
Is it finished then? Is the Spaniard truly dead?
Gather the others in Mario's study tonight. I'll explain everything there.
Steel yourself, Ezio. They will have many questions.
Claudia, tell the Contessa I look forward to seeing her this evening.
Claudia Auditore, date of birth 1461, profession noble. The third child of Giovanni and Maria Auditore and the first girl in the family, Claudia lived a privileged childhood in Florence, high society. After the murder of Giovanni and her two brothers, all that changed. Claudia, Ezio, and Maria fled to Monteriggioni and the safety of their uncle Mario's villa. Claudia remained in the villa, caring for her nearly comatose mother, while Ezio set off to avenge the murders. A record book recovered from by archaeologists, reveals a relatively unexciting existence. Between months spent managing the villa's finances, brief periods of activity were supplied by Ezio's visits, and the renovations she was able to carry out with the money brought back from his travels. Under her care, the town blossomed, ushering in a new era of prosperity for Monteriggioni. Claudia, however, remained cut off from the world she loved. To hear of Ezio's adventures only reminds me of my own lack thereof. This is not the life I dreamed of as a child. Ezio does not understand. He treats me so delicately. I despair of ever emerging from this prison, she writes in one particularly poignant letter, dated July 1495.
Down with you! Down with you!
Villa Auditore. Constructed in 1290, the Villa Auditore is an important medieval predecessor to early Renaissance architecture. The villa's wonderful symmetry and ordered geometry were a revelation for its time. After a Florentine attack in 1320 left the facade damaged, Domenico Auditore, Ezio Auditore's great-grandfather, purchased the villa. Although he publicly admitted to a renovation of the facade and the addition of a painting gallery, he orchestrated a complete restructuring of the interior in secret, designing his home to double as a fortress and training ground, looking out both over the city that it protects and the Tuscan plains. Domenico was more than just an architect and a warrior, he was also a skilled engineer. Recently discovered hidden compartments and rooms with mechanisms blocking entry are several unique features of the building that make it a technological marvel as well as an architectural one.
Patagonia!
The men in this town are no better than little girls. An army should be helping me. And look, no one. This box is heavy. Cazzo!
Need some help?
Salve.
So many flowers. Your husband must be very lucky.
I am the lucky one. I have you here to aid me.
Let me see what I can do.
Back there, I may have given you the wrong impression.
Oh?
I have no husband. The flowers are for a party.
Am I invited?
To Claudia Auditore's birthday party in the villa. If you are willing to help me again, I need someone with class to accompany me.
What makes you think I have class?
I could tell the moment I saw you. No one in this town walks with such bearing. I'm certain Ezio Auditore himself would be impressed.
Oh? What do you know of Ezio?
Claudia thinks the world of him, but he rarely visits her. From what I gather, he's distant.
She is right. I have been.
Oh no. You? The party was intended to be a surprise. Promise you will not tell Claudia.
What will you do to keep me quiet?
I am sure I can think of several things.
I'll be waiting to hear them when we get there. Now about earning my silence.
I have something in mind. There is one condition.
Anything.
You must wait until tomorrow.
If it pleases you, I will not stand in your way.
It will be worth the wait, Ezio. Trust me.
Mercenaries. Mercenaries were highly mobile in Renaissance Italy, moving from contract to contract. Professional captains called condottieri, usually paid for by cities, recruited men for a fixed amount of time. Many of the 4 hire soldiers who served in Italy weren't even Italian, coming from places like Germany, Switzerland, and Hungary. In their perpetual struggle to dominate Italy, the Italian states hired mercenaries to wage war against their Italian neighbors, and the soldiers, many of whom had no code of honor, would often rape and sack freely. When the state that was bankrolling them ran out of money, the soldiers would disband, frequently to be hired to destroy the very city they had just fought to defend. Some mercenaries were honorable, fighting for a cause they believed in, but men such as these were few and far between. Where they existed, however, they were much sought after.
So, these are the new cannons?
Yes, Signor Ezio.
May I try one?
Yes, but... Go on, tell him. We cannot seem to make them work properly, and the fool who mounted them is nowhere to be found.
Then it is up to me to find him.
We do not want to waste your time.
It is not any trouble. I have all the time in the world now. Salve, Messere. We need you to fix the cannons on the battlements.
Leave me be. I do not begin repairs before noon.
Do you know what time it is?
I make cannons, not clocks.
If you are busy, someone else will fix them.
Uno momento. No one else will touch my cannons. Soldiers have no respect for artillery. They expect a gun to work like magic. You need to feel her out. Give her a little encouragement. We are only equipped with simple cannons now, but I got hold of a design from France, a hand cannon. Something called a wrought iron murderer. Imagine firing a cannon from your hands. That is the future. What have you done?
We used them.
They were not ready for firing. You could have gotten us all killed. Let me see.
His breath is more fatal than our cannons.
Only when you two fools are shooting them. There, try it. Aim at something to test the alignment. The aiming mechanism is fine. The problem must be behind the cannon. Perfecto! At least someone here knows how to shoot. Now, for the other one.
I must go.
Thanks for your help. If you hear the cannons tomorrow, do not worry. We will be practicing at dawn.
Too bad it will not do you any good.
Very funny. Now fix the second cannon.
Buongiorno.
Ezio, Mario is going to murder me. I have lost his favorite horse.
Do not despair. I will bring it back.
God bless you, Ezio.
Here.
Grazie, Ezio. I can no longer keep up with the horses. Promise me you will enjoy your good health. Do not spend as much time in battle as your Uncle Mario.
My battles have already been won.
That is good news. Arrivederci, Ezio.
Buongiorno, Ezio.
Caterina, to what do I owe the pleasure of your presence here?
I desire an allegiance. The Papal armies have resumed their march on Forli. Your mercenaries would be a great asset to my cause.
It is likely that I can give you what you seek. But we will talk later. Mother. Machiavelli. It is done. Though not, I think, as any of us expected. I entered the Vaticano and faced Rodrigo.
No!
Used the power of the papal staff against me, but I defeated him. Combining the staff and the apple, I gained access to the vault. There, a moving painting of the goddess Minerva spoke. She told of a terrible tragedy to befall mankind in the future, but gave hope of lost temples that will provide aid to humanity. And then she called out to a phantom, Desmond, as if he were there, standing beside me. After her warning, she vanished.
Amazing.
I cannot imagine such wonders.
The vault did not house the terrible weapon we feared. This is good news.
What of this goddess, this Minerva? Did she appear human?
Yes, but her words proved otherwise. All of her kind died many years ago. I wish I could show you the magic she performed.
Who is Desmond, and where are these temples Minerva spoke of?
I do not know.
Perhaps we must search for them.
Tell me how it ended with Borgia. Did Rodrigo beg forgiveness? Make excuses? Promise power in return?
No, none of those things.
Interesting. I'm surprised he remained so composed.
I let him leave.
The Spaniard lives? Once our enemies are dead, we can speak of vaults and gods and ancient places. You should have killed him. We're sure to suffer for it.
I am not here to debate the past. Together, we should discuss the future.
No. I am leaving immediately for Roma.
Ezio, I do not know why you spared him, but I trust your judgment. Machiavelli will come around.
Maria Auditore, date of birth 1432, profession writer, noble. Tomorrow I will make torta bolognese. I have to pick up the eggs and meat from the market and will be back in time to open the bakery as the sun strikes the top of the courtyard. How privileged a life we lead. It is hard to remember on such a day that what is given may also be taken away. These are the final lines of Maria's diaries. Born into the powerful banking family, the Mazzi, Maria is one of the most famous historical sources of the time period due to her multi-volume diary, which has been translated by several notable scholars and is on display in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. Now, thanks to the Animus, we know why her diary ceased. After her husband Giovanni's arrest, during which Maria was mistreated by Florence's guards, she entered a semi-catatonic state. Cared for by Ezio's sister Claudia at the Villa Auditore, she remained silent for years until Ezio brought her a bundle of feathers he had collected during his travels, an activity that her youngest son Petruccio once engaged in. Brought back to life by Ezio's gift, her temperament has been improving steadily since. Niccolo Machiavelli, date of birth 1469, profession philosopher, writer, politician. Unarmed prophets have always been destroyed, whereas armed prophets have succeeded. These cynical words were written by Niccolo Machiavelli, one of the greatest minds of the Renaissance. Considered a pioneer of realist philosophy, he believed that all men are evil and will act upon their vicious nature if given the chance. The third son of a Florentine attorney, Machiavelli was tutored by his father in grammar, rhetoric, and Latin. In 1494, he entered government service as a clerk and an ambassador. Made a member of the Florentine Diplomatic Council, he was sent to the courts of France, Spain, and Rome between 1499 and 1512. It was during this time that he met Caesar. Immediately taken with the young Captain General, Machiavelli wrote, "I can find no fault with him." Machiavelli followed Caesar, learning his approach to war until 1500 when he became de facto leader of the assassins. From 1500 to 1503 he settled in Rome, although little is known of his activities there. In 1503, Machiavelli was put in charge of the Florentine militia and the city's defense. He recruited citizens for his militia, preferring men who had a stake in Florence's continued success to dispassionate mercenaries. His strategy seemed to work in 1509 when Florence defeated Pisa. Machiavelli continued to participate in Florentine government after the Medici family was chased out, but when the Medici returned, they arrested and tortured him. He was accused of conspiring against them. Unable to find any wrongdoing, the Medici exiled Machiavelli. He retired to his estate in Santa Andrea, where he wrote his famous works The Prince, The Discourses on Livy, and the Florentine Histories. Machiavelli died in 1527. His place of burial remains unknown. Caterina Sforza, date of birth 1463, profession Countess of Forli, noble. A countess by marriage, Caterina was notorious far before she ever arrived in Forli. Raised in the court of Milan, she received a classical education while tutored in the art of war by her father, the Duke. At court, Caterina also acquired a passion for alchemy and hunting. In 1473, when she was 10 years old, Caterina became engaged to Girolamo Riario, the Pope's nephew. They consummated their marriage when she was 14. Once in Rome, she was heralded as one of the most outgoing nobles at court, while her husband had a reputation for being one of the most ruthless. With the premature death of the Pope's brother, Girolamo gained even more power, securing the titles of Lord of Imola and Forli. When the Pope died, looters sacked Rome, destroying Caterina's residence. Unafraid, despite being 7 months pregnant, Caterina rode on horseback to the Castel Sant'Angelo and defended the Vatican with cannon fire and soldiers. In 1484, she moved with her family to Forli. Paid off by someone with a grievance against her husband, the Orsi brothers killed Girolamo in 1488. As a result, Caterina became the ruler of Forli and Imola. She wasted no time, winning the favor of nearby rulers, revising the tax system and training the militia herself. Although she advocated peace, when those around her were hurt, she dealt fierce vengeance, frequently killing enemies' wives and children in punishment. In 1499, Caesar, in his quest for territory, decided to return Forli to papal rule. Side note, the papacy claimed ownership of most regions in Italy. These lands were lent out to rulers, but papal troops could march in and reclaim them at any point, much like libraries set out to burn down the homes of those who keep books checked out for too long. As Caesar marched toward Caterina, she sent the Pope a friendly letter that had been rubbed with the sores of plague victims. It went downhill from there. As an assault by papal forces became inevitable, Caterina snuck out of Forli with a small company of soldiers on Christmas Day, 1499, and journeyed to Monteriggioni, seeking armed support from EZIO Auditore.
Welcome home. Ready to go again?
You don't need to ask.
One should always have the freedom to choose. Shh! What's that?
Probably just training exercises. Merda. I have to find Mario and rally the troops.
My men are in the courtyard. I aim to lead them around back and flank our attackers.
Stay out of sight.
It's the Borgia!
How did we not see this?
They must have massed to the east during the night. We need to hold them off until the townspeople have escaped.
I will take care of it.
Use the cannons above the rampart. I intend to lead a frontal assault.
Do you have it?
I am keeping it safe. The Borgia must not be allowed to breach the walls until everyone is safely away. Insieme per la vittoria.
Insieme. Uncle, be careful.
I will.
Load the cannon.
Destroy their cannons, signore!
You must stop them!
Go! I will carry on here!
NICCOLO! Get him!
Get down!
They're reaching the gate! I know you're there, EZIO! The Pope told me about you and your little group of assassins. And this! Give me the gun his friend fashioned for us! We've had too much bloodshed. I think the cleansing is in order. So consider this an invitation from my family to yours!
Basta! I can walk.
Look out! They are coming! Everyone, retreat to the villa!
I cannot fight like this. Stand with me!
Ora, get him! Ora, get him!
They messed with the wrong crew.
Now this should be fine. With you, Fernando.
Get inside the sanctuary!
Follow me!
Get the bastard! You are a dead man! I will do what you say!
Ora, damn you! Merda, bring him back!
You left.
Please don't kill me!
Go! Damn you! Get him! Go! Damn
Ezio!
I will hold them back.
Stop! Wait for us!
We thought you had been killed, Sir Ezio.
Not yet.
Where does this passage lead?
To the north, outside the walls.
I am surprised it exists. Let me through. I must go help the troops.
Thieves. Renaissance thieves were usually wanderers who could vanish at the first sign of trouble, making it hard for guards to track them. Black market business in Renaissance Italy was booming. Muggings in the major cities were fairly common, as were murders. Often, strollers were attacked in the dead of night, killed, robbed, and then rolled into the nearest river or canal. Even if a thief merely stole rather than killed, the penalties, if caught, were often unduly harsh. Torture was common. Thieves were put in stocks and sometimes even publicly executed. In order to avoid punishment, thieves often created bonds of trust amongst each other. Each was supposed to tell the rest his dirty secrets, which meant that each thief potentially held his comrades' lives in his hands.
Hurry, Ezio!
Where's Mother? Is she all right?
I am here, Ezio.
Grazie a Dio.
We could not leave without you.
The way out will be dangerous. Protect our mother.
Where is Mario? I thought he would be waiting for us.
The Borgia infantry are circling the town!
Mario is dead. You must leave this place. Take Mother to Firenze. Get me a horse!
You are not coming with us. Where are you riding?
To Roma!
Go, my son. Destroy them. But remember for whom we assassins fight.
Lucy, I can't seem to get a position on Ezio's POE.
POE? Could one of you tell me what's going on?
Sorry, Desmond. Piece of Eden. In the Vatican, Minerva talked about other temples, that they're the key to preventing whatever terrible thing is about to happen to the Earth.
Right.
To find the temples, I'm convinced we need to get our hands on Ezio's Apple of Eden. Minerva altered it somehow when she touched it.
Wait, we're at the Auditore Villa.
Yes, it's our last safe house in Italy. It turns out the Templars are watching the border.
Ezio hid the POE sometime in 1507, but when I try to access that DNA sequence, he seems to be remembering something else.
Like a memory inside a memory?
Yes, exactly. Maybe.
Exactly, maybe?
I believe you experienced something similar back at Abstergo, didn't you?
Subject 15 exhibited memory within memory-like patterns, but she was pregnant. The memories of both the fetus's father and mother were competing.
Desmond's not pregnant, at least as far as I can tell. Might just have had a big lunch.
Can you skip ahead to a later memory?
No, it doesn't work.
Well, that sounds familiar. We couldn't access Altair's later memories until Desmond had improved his synchronization.
Then it's possible something similar's occurred here. Ezio's troubled state is being transposed onto Desmond, destabilizing the memory. Either that, or Rebecca's just not a very good engineer.
Thanks, asshole.
What? I'm simply listing possible explanations. And that is amongst the most likely. Touchy?
This place isn't secure. Cell phone surveillance can see right through the walls.
Don't you mean satellite surveillance?
Are you kidding? Abstergo upgraded his cell towers ages ago. The waves go through everything above ground. They're gonna find us.
No, they aren't. Come with me. There's a beam blocking it from the inside. We're not getting in this way.
What's our next move?
The road just loops back into the highway. This is not a good place for us to be right now.
Do we have any tarps? We need to cover up the van.
I really hate to stress this, yeah, but we are running out of time.
Well, help us then, Sean. Do you have any ideas?
I don't know. Maybe there's another way into the sanctuary.
Hey, I think I've got something. Follow me.
Desmond, that was pretty awesome.
It just felt natural. We can get in through here.
Good job.
We'll just wait up here then, shall we? Yeah, all alone, with massive targets painted on our backs?
Why won't this turn on?
It's great to be out of the Animus.
This isn't exactly my idea of a good time.
Well, let me guess. You're more the in-bed-at 6 type.
What? Desmond? I know how to have fun.
That's very convincing. Yeah, I'm convinced.
Okay, after we save the world, I'll show you.
Wait, can I get that in writing?
We have light.
What was that?
I don't see anything.
Run! Get out before I soldati catch you! Correte! Go!
They escaped through here.
What?
Ezio and the villagers. After the attack, I can see them now.
I know it's difficult, but try to compartmentalize, Desmond. Focus on the present.
What if I can't stop the visions? How long before I start painting symbols on the walls?
Don't joke about that. 16 is dead. We're focusing on the present, okay?